neighborhood Spider-Man may cross paths with Cap and Iron Man. What? Kelly CK here to update your changelog for December 12th, 2014. If you haven't heard about the Sony Pictures leaks, some interesting info is heading your way, and you never heard so many objections caught out on the 3DS before. But first, let's see if Batman can lead us to the promised land in this week's On the Big Screen. Director Ridley Scott is known for his epic films. With classics like Gladiator and Blade Runner under his belt, his next movie will be biblical. Exodus: Gods and Kings takes the story of Moses that we know and puts a blockbuster polish to it. I mean, look at that. The 10 Deadly Plagues never look so spectacular. Did we mention Batman? I mean, Christian Bale is playing Moses. But from what we can gather from the trailers, the movie isn't just all eye candy. The story centers around Moses and Ramses, played by Joel Edgerton. Their brotherly relationship is being torn apart by faith and destiny. Head to the Promised Land today in theaters, because you know, no one wants to wander through the desert for 40 years. From one prolific director to another, thanks to director Paul Thomas Anderson and There Will Be Blood, I can never drink a milkshake the same way again. Let's see what he has up his sleeve this time around. Sex, drugs, in 1970s LA. A perfect setting for a murder mystery, wouldn't you say? Inherent Vice follows private detective and pothead Larry Dox Bertello. Okay, so the story is a bit complex, so try to keep up. Doc's ex Shasta shows up desperate for his help. Her billionaire lover Mickey has been targeted by his wife Salon and her lover. They plan to have Mickey committed to the loony bin and steal all of his riches. Most people would run from that situation, but not Doc. Adding Joaquin Phoenix as Fratello and an ensemble cast of award winners, then mix in a bowl of dark comedy. Sounds like an Oscar contender to me. Not sold yet, you can miss out on this scene with Josh Brolin.
Kinichiro, dozo, moto pancake, moto pancake, moto pancake. Hi, hi, hi.
I mean, that alone should get him nominated for something, right? Yeah! Moving along, there's an old saying, dying is easy, comedy is hard. No one knows that better than Chris Rock. Written, directed, and starring himself, Rock plays Andre. Ironically enough, Andre is a successful comedian with a long career of hilarity. But now he's engaged to Gabrielle Union, a reality TV star, who convinces him to have their wedding recorded for her show. Feeling out of touch with himself, Andre decides that the comedy game is no longer for him and wants to pursue a serious acting career. Rosario Dawson joins the mix as a reporter following Rock, trying to cover his career shift. A lot of Def Jam laughs with a pinch of romance. My sides are already splitting. There's some pocket-sized fun to be had in this week's game releases. Let's check it out in the Game Drop. This time, when Phoenix Wright points the objection finger at you, it'll be coming straight at you. It's time to lay down the law and uphold some justice. The franchise that started it all is now in one package. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy lands on the 3DS for digital download. With redrawn high-res graphics, 3D visuals, and now for the first time, you can switch between the English and Japanese versions. Claim these classics for only $29.99 in Nintendo's eStore. Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics took a risk with a failing franchise, and boy did it pay off. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light was a smash hit. Naturally, there needs to be a follow-up, and that's where we get Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. While the last game has 2-player co-op, the sequel has up to 4. Even though it takes the form of an isometric top-down shooter, don't be fooled. The focus is mostly around its platforming exploration and satisfying puzzles. Players must work together with various weapons, magics, and grappling hooks to take down those monstrous Egyptian myths. But you're also competing against your fellow man for points at the end of every level. So a bit of fun griefing can go a long way. Check out this gem for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. On this week's News Bytes, we learned that Sony Pictures are huge a-holes. Man, things are not looking good for Sony Pictures lately. The company was hit with a massive data leak, including internal messages and unreleased films. But if there's one thing in the nerd community that made us shake our fist, it was the leaked conversations and emails about Spider-Man. Yes, Marvel's been fighting for the webhead to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. According to Wall Street Journal, Sony Picture President Doug Bellegarde and co-chairman Amy Pascal were in talks for a potential scenario to introduce Spider-Man to the MCU. In short, Spider-Man can be in the Marvel films as long as Sony retains creative control, marketing, and distribution of the franchise. But they declined. Ugh, can we just do a 60-40 split in Marvel's favor? Anyway, Captain America's Civil War is full steam ahead. But what is Civil War without Peter Parker? In the comics, Spidey played a crucial role and was the first hero to reveal his secret identity. As of right now, this is still developing because there's an executive meeting dubbed Spidey Summit next month to figure out what to do about the flopping, rather less than successful Wallcrawler movies. Just wish he could be back in the hands of Marvel Studios someday. This week, we were thunderstruck by a handful of awesome trailers that made us drool in anticipation for next year. Mad Max Fury Road takes us back into a dystopian future where Max engages in a crescendo of carnage with oil-crazed marauders. Interested in a world of intrigue, spies, and a lot of bloodshed? Kingsman: The Secret Service trailer is bursting at the seams with action.
Son of a bitch!
Hot Tub Time Machine 2, The Gang is Back, Short 1, John Cusack for some more time-altering shenanigans.
I had sex with Marilyn Monroe!
I discovered cocaine.
Make sure to head to Ultness.com to see the full trailers. PSX and the Game Awards streamed last week, and it set gamers in a craze. Metal Gear Online, Uncharted 4, Until Dawn, and another iteration of Final Fantasy VII was announced, but that wasn't the biggest bomb. An official Street Fighter V teaser and gameplay were unveiled. This sparked quite the outrage or rejoice depending on what side of the fence you were on. A statement was made that this is strictly a PS4 and PC release. Not much was shown, but a few brief minutes of Chun-Li and Ryu duking it out on a Chinatown street. Apparently, Sony fronted the money to develop the Capcom fighter. Keep an eye out, this may come sooner than the targeted 2018 date. That's it for the changelog. What a week. Tell us if any of the movies or games piqued your fancy. Like this video and subscribe. Visit us at Ultness.com and tweet us at Ultness #changelog. Don't forget the Facey Space and Instagrams. The boys on the site have been hard at work to keep you updated on the latest geek news. Check out the trailers that were on PSX this past Saturday, like Uncharted 4, Bloodborne, or Batman by clicking on the window. So what do you guys think of Shinji Hashimoto? The master of blue balls came on stage to announce another port of FF7. I'm sick and tired of being rickrolled by this frittata.